Hey there, freedom lovers. Welcome back to Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian, the podcast where curiosity and free thought collide. I'm your host, Jeff, and today we're taking a deep dive into the life and ideas of one of the most influential figures in modern economic and libertarian thought, Thomas Sowell. All right, let's set this scene for you. If you've ever gone down the rabbit hole of free market economics, you've probably come across Thomas Sowell. Maybe you've seen his books at the library or caught a snippet of his interviews online where he calmly dropping the truth bomb like they're casual observations. Sowell is no ordinary economist. From a challenging upbringing in Harlem to the U.S. Marine Corps to eventually becoming a Hoover Institute Fellow at Stanford, his life story alone is a testament to perseverance and intellectual grit. Now let's talk about his early life and influence. Thomas Sowell was born in North Carolina in 1930, but grew up in Harlem, New York. He came from humble beginnings, so humble that he dropped out of high school to support himself. But even as a teenager, Sowell had an insatiable curiosity. After serving in the Marine Corps during the Korean War, he eventually earned a degree from Harvard, a master's from Columbia, and a PhD in economics from the University of Chicago. Not too shabby, right? It was the University of Chicago that Thomas Sowell studied under the legendary Milton Friedman. He is coming up tomorrow. Another powerhouse in free market tradition, that mentorship nudged him towards a deep appreciation for classic liberalism, or what many Americans today label libertarian-leaning ideas. His core ideas: markets, liberty, and personal responsibility. Sowell's work can often be boiled down to two major themes. They are the power of market forces. He argued that free markets serve as the most efficient, impartial mechanism for resource allocation. And I think we can all agree that's kind of common sense. The role of personal responsibility. In Sowell's view, social and economic policy should focus on individual choice rather than imposing top-down solutions. He was against a lot of the Great Society programs. He famously tackled issues like affirmative action, minimum wage laws, and social welfare, consistently hammering home the point that government intervention often causes more harm than good, especially for the very group it claims to help. Thomas Sowell's contribution to libertarian thought. So why is Thomas Sowell so central to libertarian thinking? Well, he blends classical liberal economics with real-world examples. From housing markets to education policy, making complex ideas accessible. More importantly, Sowell forces readers to question their assumptions, whether he's pointing to historical data or cross-cultural comparison. Sowell isn't just philosophizing, he's doing the homework. He has an empirical approach. Sowell uses data to back up his claims. Libertarians love a good debate, and Sowell comes armed with statistics that challenge the mainstream narrative. The focus on trade-offs. He reminds us that there are no perfect solutions, just trade-offs. In a world that loves oversimplified promises, this is a major wake-up call, and both parties do it. He has a pragmatic moral compass. While Sowell's reasoning is data-driven, his moral understanding emphasizes autonomy, limited government, and the preservation of individual freedom. Now, here are the common misconceptions about him and a lot of libertarians. I get it, some people think Sowell's all about cold, heartless economics, but if you read his works closely, you'll see a deep concern for human flourishing. He believes that truly helping disadvantaged communities starts by understanding economic realities like supply and demand, and how policies often have unintended consequences. That's a big thing in government. He's not saying society shouldn't care about the poor. He's saying that if we care, we should first ensure that well-intentioned solutions don't backfire. How can you get smarter? Sowell approved reading list. I'm going to add one that's not on here. Basic Economics, a no-nonsense breakdown of how economics functions, minus all the jargon that we use. Knowledge and Decision explores how information is distributed in society and why centralized decision-making often fails. A Conflict of Visions, a philosophical deep dive into the enduring ideological divide in politics. I will also add Black Rednecks and White Liberals as a good book. These works not only sharpen your understanding of economic principles, but also challenge you to reevaluate your own beliefs, even if you think you already know where you stand. Now, we all love quizzes, and this is a pop quiz. Are you smarter than a libertarian? You know that time in the quiz for the quiz segments, so let's get on with it. Thomas Sowell is often associated with school of economic thought. A, the Austrian school. B, the Chicago school. C, the Keynesian school. Or is it D, the Marxist theory of economics? The answer, B, the Chicago school, where he studied under Milton Friedman. That video is coming tomorrow. You're going to love Milton Friedman's video. Which of the following is a major theme of Sowell's work? The effectiveness of government planning. That's one. The importance of central banks setting prices. That would be two. The unpredictability of trade-offs of public policies. Or D, the virtue of permanent welfare. If you're a leftist, you would say D. The answer is C. He's big on understanding trade-offs. It's choice. In basic economics, Sowell argues that the primary function of profits in the free market is to A, benefit only the wealthy, B, provide a moral system of societal values, C, allocate resources more efficiently, or D, undermine competition. Which one do you think it is? The answer, C, profits guide resources to where they are most valued. And that's just the simple thing of economics. All right, let's do some closing thoughts now so we can get on with our day. If there's one key lesson I've learned from reading Thomas Sowell, is that reality doesn't bend to our wishes. Policies can't just sound good, they actually have to do good. From housing regulations to school choices, Sowell's body of work shows us how vital it is to look beyond slogans, beyond political grandstanding, instead focus on results. So whether you consider yourself a libertarian, conservative, progressive, or something in between, Sowell's ideas stand as a challenge to lazy thinking, and all politicians do this. Rand Paul might be the only exception. He reminds us that if we want freedom and prosperity, we have to fight for them with both reason and evidence. So that's it for today's episode of Are You Smarter Than a Libertarian? I hope this deep dive into Thomas Sowell's life and contributions have sparked your curiosity. If you learned something new, or if you have any burning questions, drop them in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. New videos drop every day. Until next time, stay free, stay informed, and stay accountable. Have a great day.
Ride the beat when you rock the mic. Put your foot on the gas and eat a red light. Ride the beat when you rock the mic.